Do you find it ticklish when you tickle the soles of your own feet? And are you familiar with the experience in which your own actions feel as if they are being controlled by someone else, known as the passivity phenomenon? I'm Matsuzaki, Matsuzaki, a psychiatrist. You might have felt that I suddenly brought up two completely unrelated topics, but they are actually connected. Today's topic is the passivity phenomenon, one of the symptoms of schizophrenia. The passivity phenomenon refers to the experience in which one feels that their own actions or thoughts are being influenced by someone else. And today I will explain the type in which one feels that their own actions are being controlled. Why is it that one's own actions come to be perceived as being caused by someone else? First, let's begin with what is generally understood among psychiatrists. The passivity phenomenon is understood to occur when the boundary between the self and the external world becomes blurred, and actions that should not normally be influenced by others are instead felt as if they are being controlled. In other words, the sense that one's actions belong to oneself, the sense of ownership, is impaired, and the sense that one is the initiator of their own actions, the sense of agency, is also impaired. It is thus interpreted as a disturbance of the self. Next, let me introduce a hypothesis that has been proposed in terms of brain function. When we move our bodies, the brain predicts what kind of sensations will be produced as a result of that movement in advance, based on the intended movement. And then, the brain compares the predicted sensations with the actual sensations obtained when we move. If the predicted sensations and the actual sensation match closely, it means that there is no problem with one's own movement, and the sensation is attenuated. That is why, for most people, even if they tickle the soles of their own feet, because the brain predicts the stimulus, it does not feel very ticklish. However, if the predicted sensations and the actual sensations do not match each other closely, it means that the movement did not proceed as expected due to some external force. The sensation that does not match the prediction is fed back more strongly to the brain. That is why, when someone else tickles the soles of your feet, because the brain cannot predict the stimulus, it feels more ticklish than when you tickle them yourself. Up to this point, this has nothing to do with illness. Next, let's take a look at people with schizophrenia.
In people with schizophrenia, there can be abnormalities in the prediction of sensations associated with their own movements.
Therefore, in people with schizophrenia, even when they tickle themselves, the brain cannot accurately predict the sensory consequences of their own action. And it has been reported that many feel it to be just as ticklish as when they are tickled by someone else. I myself have asked several patients with schizophrenia, even when you tickle yourself, does it feel ticklish? And I've received responses like, it feels ticklish though? Wait, doesn't it usually not feel ticklish? That experience surprised me. And in the brains of people with schizophrenia, there are times when the prediction of their own actions fails. And at those moments, they experience a sense of strangeness regarding their own actions. This gives rise to an experience as if some external force had acted upon them even though they moved by themselves. And this is interpreted in a delusional way, leading to delusions of control. Try to imagine it for yourselves for a moment. If your own hands or feet felt as if they were being controlled, that would be quite startling, wouldn't it?
Well, that was a discussion about schizophrenia.